Well, folks, some 30 years ago in 1984, two comic book artists and writers, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, came up with a parody concept for Daredevil, and they turned it into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And some 30 years later, we've had 4 movies, 3 animated series incarnations, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 86 to 96, although it was Hero Turtles originally over here in the 80s, but long-winded discussion I'm not going to get into right now. Then we had the 4Kids Turtles from 2003 that was much closer to the dark comic books by Mirage. And now we got Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles, which is kind of a hybrid of the 86 series and the 2003 series. And then of course we get to the movies. 1990 was the first Ninja Turtles movie in co-production with the Jim Henson Productions, and I still think to this day that movie is awesome. When you look at the animatronics and the prosthetics that the actors had to wear in them, they're lifelike. A year later, we had the second movie, which I honestly think is the best of the original 4. 3, guilty pleasure. 4th, considering it had been 13 to 14 years since Turtles 3, I think they did an okay job with the writing and the voice actors they had for it, but I would have taken away the sci-fi element of the monsters. That's just me. So now, we're in 2014, the Turtles' 30th anniversary. And our lineup in regards to the human actors, because I'll get to the Turtles at some other stage, we've got a human cast of William Fichtner, who you may remember as that badass bank manager from The Dark Knight before the Joker stuck dynamite in his mouth. I bet he went with a bang. Screen veteran actor Whoopi Goldberg, who I have the utmost admiration and respect for, because that woman takes crap from no one, is such a convincing actor. And we've got the eye candy that is Megan Fox, who, in all honesty, is a worse actor than the Bella twins from the WWE. Yeah, I went there. I don't care. So, what can we expect from a live-action, very deep 21st century Ninja Turtles movie that has Michael Bay on as a producer? I'm not going to say anything right now, but I'm a little bit worried, considering it took him 4 movies to get it right with Transformers. Oh dear. I know he's not directing it, but he still has a hand in it. We'll see at the end of 101 minutes, which is a little bit refreshing to see an action movie today that doesn't go past the 2-hour mark. I'm quite happy with that. Oh well. Will it be a shell of a hit by the end of this? Or will we be saying that was a bombshell? That was terrible, I know, and intended. I'll see you later. Well, folks, that was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. It was a lot better than what I was expecting it to be. To give you the short answer before I go and peel the layers of this piece by piece, it is a good movie. I'm surprised that a Michael Bay movie that he produced, I know it's not his movie, but he still had a hand in it, so let's keep that in perspective. Let's start with writing. Let's get the negatives out of the way. Did you really have to steal from The Amazing Spider-Man by having, a toxic chemical released into the atmosphere and they've got the antidote to cure it? Yeah, that's a little bit lazy. I like the idea that April O'Neil has a connection to the Turtles from her childhood, where they were actually her pets, that her father and Eric Satt, played by William Fichtner, we're looking up from an alien chemical. Yeah, this is the only alien aspect, folks, and it's in the mutagen from TGRI, so if that's the only thing that's going to be of alien origin, take it for what it is and just leave it alone, okay? In terms of characterization, aside from April, Eric Sachs, Raphael, the rest of the characters were undeveloped. Raphael received the most screen time and the most character development, and Raphael is pretty much the one that carries the story through the movie in terms of the Turtles' perspective. He's the one that he's pivotal, and he's the one who actually goes and rescues his brothers and actually sort of has these epiphanies that, you know, maybe he shouldn't be such a hothead. Leonardo acts like the good leader, but again, so underdeveloped. And Donatello, I got a major issue, not with the voice actor and the motion cap actor who did everything on there. He did what was asked of him, but it would have been better if they didn't exaggerate the nerd aspects of him by, you know, having like the holograph watch and all the solar panels and the oversized glasses over his bandana. I mean, that wasn't necessary. Mikey's Mikey. Mikey is a goofball in any incarnation of the Turtles, so just leave it be at that. You know, he was a goofball in 1990 with the first movie, and very little has changed. I thought John Lebesman did an okay job with this, and the pacing was decent because the pacing never slows down, but at times I think it goes a little too quick because you sort of struggle to take a breath, and the camera work is a little bit too shaky, and at times you're wondering what on earth is going on. And with Shredder's costume this time, why do I get the feeling that it's a mixture of Darth Vader, Skeletor, and Megatron? So Darth Skeletron. Go with that. If you're watching this, hashtag Darth Skeletron. Score was decent, sound mix was decent. Can I recommend this? Yes, I can. Is it going to be a must-see? That depends on your point of view. If you're a die-hard Turtles fan, you'll go and watch this. If you're kind of new to it, you might get a laugh out of it. But yeah, I thought it was a decent experience. Megan Fox actually did a little bit of a better job than I thought she would, and kind of no surprise that she received a lot of character development. Whoopi Goldberg, if you removed her from this movie, it would change it very little. Will Arnett plays a good comic relief role in this. Tries to be a smooth talker, but kind of like a hapless comedy hero. That's all I got for this. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014 gets a modest dang, that was good. Until next time, I've been your knight at the movies. Good night from the night. Okay folks, part 2 of this fortnight's double feature is going to conclude with Gone Girl, starring Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, and with Neil Patrick Harris serving as a supporting role. A lot has been talked about this movie, saying it's really making its rounds, it's doing very well with the numbers at the box office, and when you get a director like David Fincher attached to this, you know it's going to be something good. And with Ben Affleck really coming into his own in the last few years as an actor and as director with Fargo and The Town, you're going to get something special with this. And of course we get to see what he will produce as Batman in 2 years' time with Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice. And Rosamund Pike, this will prove interesting, and this girl has come a long way since Amanda Frost in James Bond's Die Another Day from 2002, which was sadly the last time we would see Pierce Brosnan as 007. But that's another story. 2.5 hours. Psychological thriller, Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, decent writing. This is going to be good. See you then. Oof, that had to be one of the longest 2.5 hours I've ever had to endure watching a movie. Let's get right down to the bare essentials with Gone Girl. It makes you think. It's a really emotionally charged psychological thriller. It's dark as you could possibly imagine, and they really make these characters seem real. Ben Affleck, you know, he acted his entire body off with this movie. You believed everything he was doing. He was so convincing and convicting, and you felt for the guy, even when he had cheated on Amy. You saw why he did it. Rosamund Pike, good lord, psycho bitch or what? And the fact that she played out to be innocent as well afterwards, jeez. Lesson learned. If I'm ever in a movie opposite that woman in a movie, I'm gonna keep whatever I'm gonna say to myself. I mean, that woman, good lord, she makes Cruella de Vil seem approachable. Camera work was decent. Score gave a really chilling, tense feel, especially when you see Amy doing her scheming and the ways that she would actually frame Nick, and the way she took out Desi, played by the unsung Neil Patrick Harris, he did a really good job with his role in this movie as well. But it's one of those movies, the story is so messed up that you question, why is Nick back with her right at the end of this flick? I just don't get it. I'm gonna have to give this one a must, because it's one of those movies you have to see it to believe it, to understand it. And you know, if you haven't seen any of Ben Affleck's recent work, I suggest you do so, because this guy is a decent, legitimate acting force now in Hollywood, and he deserves the respect he's gotten. From this ticket of double features for real features, I'm MJ Knight signing off from Cabot Circus, Bristol. Good night from the night.